Welcome back to my shop. This is going to be the part 3 of Bone Turning 101. After the last time I made part 2, people were asking me questions that I had oversight. These videos were originally designed for the Ornamental Mills users group on Google to fill the supplementary information. What we're going to try to do, number one, is to demonstrate what we're going to be making. I'm going to be trying to taking up bone discs to make up handles, very similar to what I've already made right here. Okay. Now, I want to point out something else, is that I like Red Barn's bones because they're already whitened, they're already dried, and they're a really good product to use. There's no drying, there's no dyeing, there's no waiting. You can cut it and almost use it immediately. Having said that, we want to make sure that people understand that although this is but this is sold by Red Barn, this bone looks like a real nice, very thick walls and make a great disc. The problem is that you can see that it's completely sealed at the back side. Not saying you can't use this bone, but there's going to be a lot of waste and a lot of material that you're going to be losing in this one. And I'm going to show you exactly why in just a second. We'll do it right now. If I take this here and set my bandsaw up, there we go. I'm going to cut the bone down. And you can see in the bone here, you've got marrow. You've got all this debris that's stuck inside. Not usable. I mean, it is usable, but you can start seeing where this is the part that we use, the outer edge. It's nice and thick on the here, but you can see it's all filled up with this marrow, which is going to give you some very poor looking discs. You can see this one I've already cut up. Okay. What I want to describe here is that cutting the bone is one thing, but if you've got an odd shape and you're not comfortable with being able to get your hands too close to saw blade, I like using a block of wood and hot melt glue. From this point here, I can actually just take it and you can see it again, the material here, extremely soft. It's not as stable as what we should be getting. I can get maybe one small disc out of this guy, just because there just is not a lot of usable material right there. You can see that I will be able to get a couple discs out, but they're going to be pretty darn thin. All right, so that's the problem about using bone where you can't see through both sides. When I go buy bones off the market, I take out the bone, I look at both ends. I'm trying to get the thickest bone that I can, okay? Since animals aren't grown to uniformity, they're going to have different defects, different shapes. Sometimes the bones will, over here, sometimes the bones will have defects in here. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the bone and cut it as flat as we can, and then I'm going to use my hole saw in order to drill out. The second question people have was on the hole saw. What I've done is I've taken what's called a barrel trimmer in the pen turning world, and I have put the barrel trimmer inside. This is the barrel trimmer right here. This is a carbide one. They have both carbide and normal steel. And I put that inside a 22 millimeter. Oh, You've also seen that the drill bit I'm using is not a standard drill bit. The barrels that I'm using for this kits is 265 thousandths of an inch. If I go to my drill index here, there is a letter H drill right here, which is 266 thousandths. What I've done is I've taken a letter H drill and put it in my drill, my little electric drill, and put it on my grinder and ground it down so you can see that it's tapered. And that is the size. I made it so that it would fit inside the barrel trimmer. Okay. My hole saw setup goes just like this. And you can see, I'll lock it down with an Allen screw. Push that down. And it's all held together with an oversized Allen screw, just like so. We're down just slightly below the surface. And what I find is that when I drill through, this is the exact same size as my brass tubing, so that the brass tube will go through the disc. And this makes it easier for gluing up, because now all I got to do is have the disc, the bone, there. I'll take my glue and put it, once I rough this up, I'll put my glue on the bone and here, and I will slide another one on, and I'll stack them all the way up to come up with the individual layers. Okay. You can see with different designs, it gets the lines are almost, if you put them down well, the lines become almost invisible. And you can see the different shapes, different sizes. Yes, there's still, you can see the discs, but overall, it looks like ivory. It's beautiful. It's nice, hard to the touch. It's a lot of fun to work with. Okay. So what we're going to do here, and you can see I've already done it. I'll take this hole saw on the drill press and drill through, and then I'll go back down. And then what I'll do is I'll leave a flat. That flat is what I need for the next step. And I did this on number 2, is I took another hole saw and pierced all the way through and came up with a nice big thick disc. And from that disc there, we put it on the machinist V-block, and then put it up against the sander and brought it down to a very nice. Put it on the sander and made up a very nice disc. And you can see that I have a number of discs, all different sizes, all different shapes, and they're all from the bones. And they're all ready to be just stacked up, one after the other, all the way to the top. That's the whole process. I'm sorry for any confusion that we've had in the previous videos. If you want to check out more information, it's on Google Groups, Legacy Ornamental Mills, and we have pictures as well as all the written information about this. So at this time, that'll conclude with part 3. Thank you very much.